Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be doing some more Phantasy Star 3. We missed it last time, so we're getting back to it this week. In the last episode of this, we more or less just finished the first generation, so we're right at the beginning of the second generation now. I can barely remember what we're doing, so this should be fun. Just as we get started, apologies if my voice sounds a bit dodgy. I'm still sort of getting over the illness I had earlier in the week, so yeah, more or less getting there now, but my voice kind of gives out randomly now and again, so apologies for that if that happens. Cyndaquil is the goat. I always went with Cyndaquil in Gen 2. Hi, Jack. Yeah, so we just started Iron Stories, so we've got Iron, Ren, and Mew. And I think all I remember is that we were told that some cyborgs were attacking the towns nearby. I think we were literally right at the start of the episode of this generation, so you've missed nothing. So yeah, I think the first thing we had to do was more or less go to one of the nearby towns, I believe, and see if we could find these cyborgs that are attacking. Okay, yeah, so we are in Seal at the minute, so we need to go to Shisoran next, I think it is. We're basically looking for this place called Satellite, and we've been told that we need to take Ren and Mew with us. We don't really know a whole lot about Satellite though. So it's very convenient that this bridge still exists. So we do have new enemies, so we're now fighting predominantly machine enemies. I guess the reason for that is because we essentially, by choosing Iron Star, we've essentially sided with like Lyra, because we took Maya as our queen. So we've essentially sided with Lyra, which means that Arakio's machines are against us now. That is my understanding anyway. Oh, that's a lot more experience. Well, let's go in here. Lyle lost one of his eyes in a recent battle. That's not good. Yeah, so basically, because we chose Maya, Lyle has now become the king of Shisoran. So this is Thea. Hello, I'm Thea, Lyle's daughter. Message ends. So we're still clearly not very talkative. I guess we'll check in with Lyle. I'd like to come with you, Ein, but I'm afraid that my people need me right now. Also, he is totally rocking that eye patch. Also, what is it with whenever anyone gets old in this game, it seems like it's mandatory for them to get a mustache. Everyone, because it was the same for Reese as well. Reese got a mustache when he got old. It seems like everyone that gets old in this game has to have a mustache. Like it's an unwritten law. Okay, so it looks like Lyle's not going to join us. I guess, you know, his kingdom is probably getting attacked by these machines, so it kind of makes sense. It's tradition. It's like you're required by law, by the law of King Queen, you have to get a moustache. No exceptions. So the funny thing is now, it doesn't really give you any indications where to go here. I guess we'll just talk to a few people and see if we can get any idea where we're going next. King Lyle will lead us to victory, never fear. Not being funny, dude, but he's not really doing a whole lot at the minute. Who is creating these marauding cyborgs? Our fate is in your hands, Prince Ein. I still find it really funny with the sprites as well that Ein just looks huge. Also, we did look this up. Apparently, Ren is actually 5 foot. I think was it 5'11" or somewhere around there? Not 7 foot as we thought previously. Jisoran will be fine as long as Lyle, the Dragon Knight, is our Rodan Lula. The Dragon Knight? No one's ever mentioned this. Would you like to elaborate on that? No? So he's a Dragon Knight, apparently. Sometimes you just want a little bit more information, you know? He's a Dragon Knight for a reason. A reason that I clearly don't need to know yet. That source is wrong and lying because it doesn't fit my narrative. Ren is 7 foot. I mean, let's say that Ren is 7 foot. So how tall is Ein? Seven foot 1. Okay, so that was Jisoran, so... Welcome to Agor. Considering that apparently everywhere's getting attacked by cyborgs, seems quite peaceful. No one knows who leads the cyborg armies. He's 7 foot 1, okay. Neither Reese nor Lyle can protect their lands. I mean, are you surprised with Reese? We established in the last playthrough that Reese is useless. How he even managed to have a son is beyond me in the first place. So is there really no one else around here? I wonder who is attacking your lands. Our people are not at war with yours, Prince. We have lived in peace for many years. Right now, your father's land is being invaded. No one knows who's responsible for it. So it's all a big mystery, apparently. I like how this dude is just, welcome to Agor. No one told him to update his text. Well, I don't think there's anywhere else to go here, so I guess we take the boat. I'm basically just checking everywhere now until I get some idea where I'm meant to go. Let's check here. Riser Village still honours your father. I like that, yeah, we still honour your father. We're not bitter that he decided to run away, you know, with a lion. I mean, you gotta imagine that I'm probably seen as like some kind of traitor. A messenger arrived from your people, Prince. They're under attack and need you desperately. I mean, everyone is saying this. I'm yet to see anything attacking. That is a lanky boy. He didn't play past first gen, no worries. I have got a guide though, and it's just told me to basically go to a few villages, so... I will say these machine enemies are doing a little bit more damage. I love that guy's animation. Just goes. Well, hey, whisper it. We haven't been poisoned yet. There's time, but we haven't been poisoned yet. Yeah, these fights are a lot of experience. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't even expecting to do second gen. I was convinced that the votes would go towards just skipping on the next game. But most people wanted me to finish this, so I'm not against it, but it just surprised me. Right, so where are we going, guide? Okay, so now apparently we need to go back to Shisoran. So I'm guessing that messenger NPC is like a flag NPC that you have to talk to. Yeah, Pika, I was genuinely surprised. I thought, no one is going to want to see me finish this. So we need to go to Shisoran first. Ah, okay. Everyone has disappeared. Out of curiosity, do the NPCs still exist in the shops? No. Just while I stocked up beforehand, really. At least the generations aren't too long, but if people voted based off wanting to see everything, I'm sad to say you only get to see 25% of the endings on a full playthrough. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just more so that instead I've played through the game, I'll probably just honestly either play through myself at some point or just watch YouTube videos for the other playthroughs, for the other endings. It's more just to say that I've completed the game, really. By which I mean seeing the credits. Okay, so there is no one in Shisoran at all. So let's go back to Seal. I suppose one criticism of this is that there is a lot of backtracking in this game. They're doing 0 damage. Oh, is that what it was? A heal? It's because its kill was effectiveness is 0. Oh, it was get rester. Okay, I must have missed it. That makes sense, actually. Can I have a go at some point? Thank you. I hate getting ambushed in this game because the enemies get so many attacks before you get a go. Not that it matters when Ren is just going to obliterate the entire encounter in one attack. Heal that. But probably not good that we're getting fights in this castle, which we weren't before. So clearly something is going on. I have noticed that Ayn is weaker physically than Reese was. I'm guessing it's the payoff that you get for him being able to use techs. Okay, I need to see a map of this castle so I can actually get through the back of it again. Okay, I just went completely the wrong way. Been ambushed again. At least the benefit of getting ambushed is at least it stops playing that music earlier. So there is a silver lining to it. I mean, Ayn's still pretty strong, but yeah, he's definitely doing a little bit less damage than Reese. Now, whether that's because these are robotic enemies, maybe they take less damage from physical attacks, I don't know. But I would assume that maybe Ayn is a bit weaker physically because he can use techs. It is nice that he can use Rester as well. Yeah, these are quite fast, so these seem to go first regardless. Yeah, clearly something is causing all these machines to attack all the different towns. Can he use buffs? I need to check what text he can actually use. I'll check after this fight. I mean, even for a fight like that, we're getting 160 experience. Right, so yeah, so what can he actually use? So he's got Rester, Gerester, Reverser, Anti, Ner, Rimit, Shiza, and D-Ban. That's not too bad, really. I mean, who knows what some of these do in this game, because they probably do something completely different to Phantasy Star II. Obviously, I know what these four do. I know that Ner used to be one that raised your agility. Rimit, I think in Phantasy Star II that was one of the texts that you used. It was either with Kane or with Q. It was like one of the specific ones you use on certain enemies. I'm going to assume that's changed in Phantasy Star III. No idea what Shiza is. D-Ban, I would imagine, is a defense increase, but who knows? It's interesting though, because I feel that things are actually starting to happen in the story now. It only took an entire generation. The BGM in the castles is kind of medieval pizza music. It is, it is. I don't think it quite beats the original pizza music from Phantasy Star 1, but it's definitely similar. There is definitely a whiff of the pizza music to it. The only thing I'm really missing at the minute is having someone like Lyle who can just nuke everything. I know Ren can hit everything, but it was nice to have 2 people that could do it. Okay, is the gate to the west or the east? It is to the east. Okay. Yeah, there is a definite pizza music there. It's just cool to see some different enemies though. I think we were reusing enemies a lot in the first gen. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, Swamp Witch. You know, Iron Sprite is literally just a recolored Lyle. He's Lyle in spirit. And without all the useful attack techs. Yeah, from what I understand, because I did read up a little bit about the other storyline that we didn't get. From what I understand, I think with that one, we would have been fighting more monsters. Because I guess in that storyline, you probably side with Arachio more than Laia, I guess. Where this one, we've gone over to more towards Laia. It's very convenient that that shows up whenever we want it to. Ah yeah, I can see they use Geresta now. They're not too big a problem though, because they've got quite low health, so you can normally kill them quite quick. I guess it just means in some encounters we might have to prioritise them. You can go pure Arachian or choose when to mix Lion Blood, just a matter of when. I think it is cool though that depending on who you marry, depends on what child you get and depends on what abilities that child has. Obviously because we went with marrying Maya, we married a lion, so we got like half Arachian, half lion, which means we can use techs. Whereas I'm going to assume that the other side of the story, if you're pure Arachian, I'm going to guess that they don't get techs. I would assume they're similar to Reese. Again, I am assuming quite a lot because I haven't really seen too much about the other side of the story. I did look up to see how it started. It looked like it started very, very similar, but you were just getting attacked by monsters instead of robots. Okay, let's say before I go in here. So, is anyone home? Nope, people have disappeared here as well. It changes the story a bit, the text, even some characters that can be in your party on 2 different gens, apart from the androids. The other option is just really strong physically, like Ren. Okay. Oh, I see someone. The cyborgs were too powerful to be resisted. Everyone fled to Iridia, but I refused to leave. I'm just going to stay here and loot everyone's houses. Okay, so I guess we need to go to Iridia. Again, there is a lot of backtracking. So rest up and head to Radio Bypassway. It says rest up. Nothing unusual here, apart from the fact that the person's missing. So to rest up, I would have to go to, I assume, a different town? I feel like we're going to get a lot of fights. I mean, honestly, from what I'm seeing, it looks like Anne is at least fairly useful. He still seems pretty strong, for the most part. But just having the ability to use text as well is going to be pretty useful, I think. I mean, I'm going to assume that when you get to the 3rd gen and to the end of the game, I'm going to assume that the stories kind of match up a little bit. But I'm interested to see how it gets there. It just sucked that we've got to go all the way back through here just to get back to a town where we can actually heal. The ending's unique but somewhat underwhelming. Are you ready for Ren and Mew to be like level 40 in Gen 3's ending while your starting guy is level 10? Yeah, it is weird, isn't it, how Mew and Ren's levels carry over, but Anne's doesn't. But I mean, I suppose we've already established in this game that the leveling for the characters is really weird in this. Like, characters level at different rates and have different stats at different levels. Story till then might be similar in some parts, but it's different enough, I guess. Okay. I mean, from what people were saying last time, I think they said that Gen 2 and Gen 3 are a little bit shorter anyway, so you're going to see the craziest level 1 in this gen. We picked the right one then. Please, I just want to get to the last town. Good to see you there as well. Also, just while we're doing this, for anyone who didn't see, the most recent episode of the PSO2 NGS podcast went live yesterday on Kathy's channel, so feel free to go and check that out if you didn't see it. Why would you use Garesta when you're in full health? You're just wasting my time now. C3PO and R2D2. Sometimes I want Ren to go a little bit slower so I can actually get my Garesta off first. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I suppose I can just do it in the menu anyway, but... as usual, we've got these awfully long paths for no reason. Just to make me spend a little bit more time here. I know someone did leave a comment and said that the delay at the end of each round of fighting apparently gets less if you increase the text speed. I'm reluctant to do that though in case I accidentally skip anything in the text. So is it down here or is it the next one? Because I don't want to go the wrong way. Yes, it is that one. Cool. Okay, so our first goal is get back to a town where I can actually heal. Recently tested the leveling chart for Gen 1 characters. At level 16, Reese needed the same experience to level up as a level 2 Gen 1 character. But yeah, it's a bit complicated to explain. It's really weird because it differs like per character as well, doesn't it? It's a really strange level system. I don't know if there's any other games that are like this. Maybe there is, but it's very weird. So initially I was very concerned when I saw that new characters were level 1. So for example, when I got Lyle. But then you realise that Lyle at level 1 is as strong as the rest of your party at like level 10. Just made me wonder why they decided to do it that way and not just give you Lyle at level 10. But I'm sure they had the reasons. Okay, so if memory serves, I don't think I can heal here. No, so I need to go to the next town. I don't think I can heal here, actually. It might be... I might have to go back to Rysel, possibly. Actually, no, Agro I might be able to. Please tell me I can heal. Good. Also, we've earned a ton of money just from doing those 2 fights. When I started this, I was on about 1500 Mazetta. Okay, so healed up. So we now need to head to Iridia via the passageway. This relies on me remembering where the passageway to Iridia is. Oh yeah, for some reason you can't use the map in a town. Okay, I'm trying to remember where on earth the passageway is for Iridia. Is there like a world map or something that I could use that showed me where some of these places are? Because it would be really handy to remember where these are. Okay, so this is Rizal, so there are, but they may contain spoilers. That's a problem. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. I seem to remember that there was a passageway down here, but I can't remember if it was the one to Iridia or not. That is a big boy. Also, he's called Dogbot. Like, that is clearly a dog. Phantasy Star III inspired Pokemon Sword and Shield. I mean, it is a dog with a sword and shield, so, you know. I mean, it's clearly not a dog. I mean, it has dog ears. It is a weird dog. Also, yeah, again, no points for the animation. Hey, Jokey. So I remember that there was a passageway down here, but I can't remember if this is the one to Aquatica or if it's the one to Iridia. Again, I love the animation for these guys, that they just kind of spin round. It's weird at the minute. I feel like we kill things really quickly, but we take a lot of damage as well. At least you don't have a man flexing his pecs at you in this generation. Society has progressed. So I know there was a passageway here. I think this... I don't know, was this to Aquatica though? Was this to Iridia? Yeah, the animation is amazing, Jokey. Right, I need to try and find where this is. Where is the passageway to Iridia? Well, it's called the Iridia to London passageway, so I would assume it's near London. Which is not here. I think this was the... Is this it? Is this the one that goes to Iridia? I can never remember which one goes to Iridia, which one goes to Aquatica. Played all the classics after all, don't remember 3 that well. Yeah, so we just need to go to Iridia and head to a cave, fair enough. So Phantasy Star Cave, save me again. Is it this one? Also, sorry about the music going off when I do this. For some reason, it does not allow you to retain the music when you alt-tab. Or leave the window at all. Okay, so I think the land we were just in, I think that was Aquatica, wasn't it? Because I'm sure if I remember first gen, where we just came from, I'm sure that was frozen when we first got there, so I think that was Aquatica. It's really hard to remember what world you're actually on. Some of them are obvious, but... Off topic, but what do you think the lore is behind the section IDs in PSO? So a cool theory about them, that they define what type of job you or your family had, like yellow bows and bankers. I have heard that before. I'm assuming it's some kind of governmental thing to split up the population into certain roles, but I don't know what roles they necessarily specify. I mean, the only thing we know about section IDs in regards to story is from episode 3 with the OPSS incidents. But yeah, I have heard that theory before about them being tied to specific like job roles and so on. I suppose the weird thing with that theory is the fact that the only people you see with section ID badges are hunters. Unless it refers to what they specialise in within the Hunters Guild or something. Yeah, they did do that, Gob. It gets screwed up a little bit in Blueburst, because in Blueburst some characters have different section IDs. Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think it specifically says anywhere what the purpose of the badges was. I know a lot of people don't like the section ID system, but honestly, I quite like it. It gives you a reason to make more characters, so... Yeah, I mean, she's not technically a hunter, but she still has a full mal model. Do you know what I mean? So she's still got a model of a hunter playable character. But if you see, for example, the citizens on Pioneer 2, none of those have section IDs. That's what I mean. Or none of the shopkeepers have section ID badges. The only thing you'll miss on fastest message speed is the money and experience you get if someone levels up, plus the chance to read the enemy news when a battle starts. Maybe set it to 6 or 7. Yeah, I'm definitely having to heal more. Yeah, same for me, God, but I really like the section ID system. I know a lot of people really don't like it though. Yeah, that's the only thing I think of, Drac, is that obviously the section IDs for the techers, each section ID has a different techer. So maybe their garb that they wear is related to the section ID. I mean, it is, in terms of game mechanics, you know, the Skyly techer always looks a specific way. But I don't know if there's any sort of lore reason for it. Yeah, it could be, God. Maybe we just don't see it. Because I know for Rico, the white L section ID, she has it's on her back, isn't it? Agribot. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Ren shoot them. They do less damage than the small enemies. They also have no health. You like the section ID system, but only in modern times and modern documentation. I mean, I can imagine it was probably a nightmare back in the day, you know, when Dreamcast first launched, when no one knew necessarily what the section IDs did. Because I suppose you just pick it when you make your character. And I guess if no one knew what they did, you were just picking a cool coloured badge, not knowing that it massively affected what you got in the game. Later on it's okay, because then you at least know what items you'll get and how it affects other things, so... Yeah, there must be some reason for them, surely. It's a cool thing to think about. Basically, I think from a lore standpoint, I think the only time that ever really brought up is during the OPSS incident in F3. Which, if you don't know, was basically a time where Pioneer 2 was getting too crowded, so they thought the best idea to resolve that problem was to eject a load of androids into space. And OPSS, as far as I'm aware, is the section IDs that participated in that. So it's like Oran, I think it's Oran, Pinkle, and Skyly sections. So those hunters were basically involved in rounding up androids and then getting rid of them. It's always been based on your name, 8-bit. The only difference is in Blueburst they complicate it a bit more. So in Blueburst it's based on your character name plus what class they are. Oh yeah, it really didn't do a good job of it, Tricky. It was not explained in the slightest. I think even for characters it was basically like, it used to say hunters are good for beginners, rangers are good for intermediate, forces for advanced players, but it didn't really tell you too much else. It maybe said things like Phonywell has low health, but it didn't tell you anything about technique boosts or anything. It could be Drac, yeah, that's one potential option it could be. I mean, we know obviously that the Hunters Guild isn't military, because obviously Pioneer 2 and Pioneer 1 had a military. But it could be some kind of ranking system potentially. I mean, you could argue we already have a ranking system with the challenge mode ranks, but Humor is just bad. Okay, so those things do a bit of damage if they use physical attacks, fair enough. Yeah, it was only in Blueburst 8-bit, for some reason they decided to change how the section IDs were calculated. So basically it means in Blueburst, if you have exactly the same name on two different character classes, you'll have a different section ID. In the earlier games, it's just based on the name though. Military hunters didn't get along, and we hear from one of the military guys that only A-rank hunters and above can go use the teleport we use. So bare minimum, we are A-rank hunters in law. Okay. You know what the scary thing about that is, God? But that means that Ash is at least an A-rank hunter when you find him in the forest. Cyndaquil was the only Pokemon to get two sprites on the same gen. Useless fact. What was it? Was it one sprite for Gold and Silver, and then one sprite for... Was it Crystal, the other one, I think? We never see him use that teleporter, so he could be lower, but then how did he get to Raggle? Unless he just, jumped in someone's telepipe. Oh, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, okay. think, is it down from here, I think? Yes, it is. Cool. I think the people who accompany you are allowed to go with you as well. Actually, that makes a lot of sense because Null accompanies with you, doesn't she? For the journalistic pursuit quest. And we know that she's not a hunter. I know she's masquerading as a Hunuel for that quest, but... That's really weird, that Drac. I wonder why they did that. Okay, so I was trying to think of the name of the military force that was split up. The ones that kidnapped Eleanor's sister in that one mission. It's Works. Yeah, Works are the real nasty pieces of work in PSO. Yeah, the lab is definitely not used to having hunters there because I think there's an NPC in Pioneer 2 and Ep 2 that says something like along the lines of, oh, we don't really see hunters here very often. I've got to say, Mew is getting really beaten up here. I don't know if things are just targeting her more, but maybe she's due a gear upgrade. All the good works were lost on Pioneer 1. Yeah, potentially. I mean, you know, the military that's left on Pioneer 2 is basically like a skeleton crew, more or less. Hence why the Hunters Guild have to help out with everything. Can you not ambush me every single fight? I learned something funny the other day. The Lucky Coin Ruler NPCs are spawned on top of the lab. It's basically just like an out of bounds part of Pioneer 2 that you can't get to, and they just put the roulette on top of that. It's really funny when you notice it. Hi, Remote. Yeah, feeling mostly better, yeah. Just my voice, really. It just occasionally gives out. But yeah, for the most part, I'm fine now. Good to see you as well. To get invited into the lab means are probably something really special, which makes sense given what we accomplish. I mean, there's still a little bit of an issue with PSO's storyline with the sort of crossover between the end of Ep 1 and Ep 2 happening. There's some things that maybe don't mesh up properly, a bit like continuity errors, but I mean, you kind of assume that in Ep 2 you're seen as the hunter who, you know, defeated Darkfalls. But yeah, the way the timing is for Ep 2 is quite strange. Because Ep 2 starts much earlier than you think it does, before you even get involved. Okay, we have somehow managed to make it to Iridia. Thank you for telling me in chat where the passageway was again. Okay, where are we going now then? Head to Hazatak. So Hazatak was the town just off the river, I think. So we are going a long way south and then a little bit west, fair enough. Sky, can you explain altar zones in NGS? We don't really know much about them at the minute. The altar zone hasn't actually been added to the game yet, so all we've had so far is basically got like a teaser urgent quest at the minute that showcases some of the altar enemies. As far as I know, the actual area is getting reduced. I think it's either end of this month or next month. From what I've seen in the trailers, it does look as if it's like the equivalent of like Ultimate Return. I will say that having fought the altar enemies in the urgent quest where they show up, they hit way harder than everything else in the game. you know, the starless version of the Nogleth was hitting me for about 1,000 damage a hit, so they hit really hard. Ep 1 and 2 supposedly start around near the same time, intersect a lot, though if I recall, F2's ultimate ending happens after 1's. Yeah, I think Olgaflor's defeat happens after Falls for sure, but I think episode 2 maybe starts either about the same time as Ep 1 or just before. That's the other thing tricky. I mean, it could be canonically that you're not the same person from Ep 1, but... I mean, we got a be S rank, haven't we? We literally defeated a god. Okay, so let's heal up a bit, just because we don't know what's going to spawn in this region. That should be fine for now, I think. Yeah, we don't really know a whole lot yet, Drac. It is kind of cool, the urgent quest, because it's like a story urgent quest. It more or less just starts out with you fighting Starless as normal, and then you get ambushed by this enemy that has this like weird aura around it. And you realise it's hitting way harder than normal. Blue Star Memories directly names us as one of the 4 heroes. Yeah, I suppose it's difficult, I suppose, because with Ep 1, obviously, we knew that we were one of the 4 heroes after defeating Falls. With Ep 2, the impression I get with Ep 2 is that they assume that you've already done Ep 1. Because bear in mind, on GameCube, you could just start with Ep 2 if you wanted to. On YouTube now, less lag. Hi, chat. That is cool little robots. They're called laser bots, so I'm assuming they're going to do a laser. Call me crazy, but... I don't actually get to do anything. No. They're redoing Alpha Zones for the 5th time. It's a bit of a weird one, so with what we've seen, which again is very limited from what we've seen of Retem so far, for Alter Retem, the actual area looks completely different. There's also a lot of things that seem to be rearranged, so I don't think Retem City is there. I think a lot of the area has been shifted around. It's almost like an alternate reality version of Retem. But again, we don't know anything about it story-wise at the minute. Yes, I think Ellie does request us in Ep 2 for Seat of the Heart, I think it is. Yeah, I'm trying to reserve a bit of judgment with the altar areas because I want to see where they go with it. I just kind of want to see what the deal is with the altar areas, like what the reason is for them appearing. Okay, those laser bots hit really hard. Yeah, Ellie is the one that knows Cal. Last story chapter, so the last main story chapter was months and months and months ago. We did get a mini episode with the last update, and I believe there is some kind of scene after you do Malignant Vial from what I've heard. I think the next bit is coming I think there's another mini episode coming. I can't know if it's this month or next month. I think what they said in the recent headline is they're trying to, because they've realised that the story is massively spread out, they're trying to roll out the mini episodes more often, just so there's not huge gaps in between each story segment, which I think is a step in the right direction. I would like them to roll out the main story chapters a bit quicker though, because it is a ridiculous wait between them. Yeah, Jokey, I think a lot of the things that are happening at 2 in PSO are definitely going on at the same time as at 1. Yeah, I feel the same, Gob. I think the story for PSO, I think a lot of people don't engage with it because you have to go out of your way to engage with it. Particularly outside of Blueburst, if you're playing something like GameCube or even Dreamcast, the only way you really get the story is if you read those message capsules, and I think a lot of people just skip them. Obviously the side story quests and everything fill more in, but the main story is told through those. So for me, I love it. I like sort of finding messages and trying to put the story together for myself, and bringing all the clues together and trying to figure out what's actually going on. I love that kind of storytelling personally, so I'll always advocate that PSO has a really strong story. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, Jokey, I think NGS has definitely had its rough points for sure. But I do genuinely think it's in a better place at the minute. There is more to do at the minute. We have just got the new Malignant Vile fight as well, which from what I've heard is incredibly hard. So I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but I think I'm going to try doing it tomorrow. But from what I've heard, it's incredibly difficult. Been on a break for 1 year, 3 months, still waiting to leave the planet. Okay, so we're back in Beep Boop Town. The cyborgs of Hazatak rarely get human guests. Yeah, you said that last time. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, Tricky? Obviously the main draw of PSO was the fact that it was online and multiplayer. So, from what I remember, I think, well, in online, I know you don't get the message capsules. So a lot of people just missed them and didn't realise they were there in single player. But yeah, it's a shame because the way that the story's told, I really, really like it. I've always liked the thing with PSO where you gradually follow in Riko's footsteps and you're gradually seeing her get more and more scared and more worried about what's going on. Your family and friends fled far to the west. They have the twins Ruby, the key to London. And we went for a Sapphire last time, so I'm guessing we're going for a Ruby this time. Well, let's get healed up first. It has been very refreshing not getting poisoned every 2 minutes, that's really nice. Yeah, I think you notice it most in Ruins, when she starts to sort of decipher the monuments and everything and realise what's actually going on. You can tell she's getting genuinely scared and she knows that she's getting way out of her depth. Yeah, I think it's a great story. It's one of those where you have to put the effort in to actually understand it and follow it. Yeah, 07 for Red Ring Riko. Okay, so now the guide says, go to the cave where you found Ren. implying I remember where that is. I know it's the Western Cave, so I would assume it's in the west. Before we go though, let's get a few diamonds. I mean, I think in regards to the storytelling method PSO uses, I think NGS, I did a video on this recently, but NGS kind of does a similar thing. As I've just seen that hydrate now from Drax, I'll do that now. Already quarter of an hour late. Yeah, I think the way that NGS is doing the story at the minute has some similarities. It does use a lot of what's called environmental storytelling, such as you can figure out what Halfa is just by looking around. Again, I've just done a video on that recently, if you haven't seen it. The problem with NGS's story, though, is the fact that it's just taken so long to really go places. I think the last chapter was definitely a step forward, but that is now months ago, and we do need that next step on now, like, quite badly. I won't defend NGS for that. Let's also get an escapipe as well, just in case we need one. Okay, so now we need to go to the Western Cave. I'm going to assume that these gems that we're collecting, I'm going to guess that we're going to get another one in the 3rd generation that's going to unseal something. Just basing things on PSO. That is my early guess. Okay, so there is some kind of complex to the west of us, which you would hope is where the Western Cave is. This is where it's to the east, just to throw me off. Yeah, on the subject of PSO and NGS though, there was recently a dev letter from the NGS team where they were sort of summing up the 4th anniversary of NGS, and they did specifically mention in that they will be celebrating the 25th anniversary of PSO. Now that admittedly could just be something like a scratch in NGS, but they have acknowledged it, so they are aware it's the 25th anniversary, so I can continue to cope. Yeah, it's really interesting, Gob, because I think it's called something like, is it Aplam Umbra, I think it's called, which, yeah, that would make sense. And the way that boss is introduced, that also does make sense if it does mean that. Profound Darkness shows up in 3 different Phantasy Star games. I mean, I'm narrowing it down quite a bit. I mean, obviously I know it shows up in PSO 2. And I guess if you want to class PSO Episode 3. It's got to show up surely in one of the classic games, I'm assuming. And I would guess... I'm assuming Phantasy Star 4 just because the PSO2 fight for Profound Darkness used Ooze, which I believe is from Phantasy Star 4. So, again, don't spoil anything about the fight in Phantasy Star 4 if it is there, but I'm pretty certain that that's going to be in Phantasy Star 4. Just putting 2 and 2 together. First part of PD's theme in PSO2 is referencing the other game, okay. Honestly, that part of the theme, the first part, I love that. I don't know what the original version's like, I've deliberately not listened to it. Like, I know it's from Phantasy Star 4, but I deliberately haven't listened to the original just in case it spoils anything about the fight. But I really like the PSO2 version. Honestly, that fight in general in PSO2 is just really good. I really enjoyed that. Are we anywhere near the curve? We should be more or less on it, which is odd because I can't see it. Profound Darkness, 4 on drop, what are they trying to tell us? Also, what the hell is that design? He's got hands, lots of them. Doesn't spoil the fight, but I guess it's cool to hear it the first time in 4. Yeah, I mean, I only knew it was from Phantasy Star 4 once it was pointed out to me because obviously I'd never played 4. I do really like that theme in PSO2. I'm kind of sad that I never got to experience the proper Profound Darkness fight, the Ep6 one, because I quit the game right in the beginning of Ep6, so I never did any of the final part of PSO2. Is he going to wiggle at a spoon at us? Maybe he will. I think we're still fine for health, so... Being a classic Phantasy Star fan, I was incredibly excited when Profound Darkness appeared in PSO2. I mean, I was happy enough to see Dark Falls because to me as a PSO player, Dark Falls was always like the big bad guy. It was only when I later found out, like, no, there's another whole level above that. So I'm going to assume it's in this mountain range somewhere. Also, that guy, the big guy at the back, is called Styx. I wouldn't put it past the game to have certain big mode animation region configurations. Big mode is a technical term. That enemy looks like a ball from Gundam with legs. Please tell me it's around here somewhere. So there is a cave here. I'm going to assume it's this one, given that it's in the west. You'll only introduce to PSO later on through a friend, probably would have never played it otherwise. Glad I did though, because it became one of my favourite MMOs ever. I introduced them to the classic series, so it was fair. Yeah, honestly, I started the series with PSO, so for a while I wasn't even aware of the original Phantasy Stars. Ball is one of the best Gundam mechs. It is, it tries so hard. The cave is blocked, you can't get in. So maybe it's not that one. Ball is only good if the pilot is Shiro Amada. Yeah, same to me, God, but it doesn't look blocked to me. Boy, is that party from Phantasy Star 2 and we'd just blow it up and we'd dynamite if it was Phantasy Star 2. So unfortunately, that is not the right way. The best mechs are Zaku and Ball, everything else is bad and I'm serious. Real talk though, I think, yeah, some of the Xeon suits are way better. Okay, so if it's not that cave, then where? Okay, so maybe that middle one. That will be directly west from Hazard, so maybe it's that one. That is a lot of enemies. Let's get Ren to attack the back line. Rick Diaz is the most handsome MS. I'll always be a fan of the Goof custom personally. Yeah, Mew is taking a lot of damage here. I wonder if she's due an upgrade for her armor. Yeah, Camphor is really cool as well. Honestly, with Gundam, I tend to find that a lot of the grunt mobile suits are way more interesting looking than the protagonist ones. So is it around here? Yeah, it should just be west from here. And hopefully this is the right curve. I do like how the map is not actually right, so it can show that you're right on the cave on the map, but you still have to walk 5 miles to get to it. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of the games, Stephen. I think I've got one for the PS2. I think is it Federation versus Xeon, I think. And I played a bit of Gundam Breaker 4 recently, which I thought was alright. Please tell me there is a cave here. I feel like it's throwing fights at me like every 2 steps now. Any series where there are 5 young men with Gundams has this problem. Still trying to find this door. It's here somewhere. Yeah, partial to the Dreamcast Gundam Side Story 0079 Rise from the Ashes. It was clunky but had a real mecha feel to it. I need to get around to watching the new Gundam show at some point. I've heard a little bit mixed opinions about it, but I should probably do it at some point. So what I'm learning with these robots is that instead of everything having poison, everything has fire instead. Yeah, G-Quacks or however you pronounce it, yeah. I really did not like the mobile suit designs from what I saw, but I haven't tried watching any of it yet, so I don't know what the show is like. Yeah, people call it G-Cooks. Where is this door? Recommend it, really enjoying it. Oh, cool. The extremely emo kid characters are intolerable. I like the premise behind it, 'cause from what I understand, it's like an alternate telling of the original show where Zeon win. Yeah. It's on the backlog, I need to watch it at some point. There are flashback episodes that are done in the original animation style and look very good. See, for it to be accurate though, it needs to have like everything massively out of proportion. You know, the Gundam in the original show used to change size every single frame. Yeah, so how far down the map are we here? They missed that. It is really funny if you watch the original, like 1979 show, because yeah, the proportions on the Gundam just massively change every time you see it. Okay, so maybe Northmore? It is really annoying to find some of these caves sometimes. All the mountains just look the same. G-Cook ends in 2 weeks, so you can probably binge it all soon. Yeah, I've got a few shows I need to finish at some point. It's just getting the time to do them. Because there is 2 entrances here. I think sometimes it doesn't matter if there are mountains or not. For half the show, the gun tank shoots from mountains. I've still got a gunpla kit to build, actually. I've had a Chaz Zaku to build for about 3 or 4 months, and I've just never got it out of the box yet. I should probably do that at some point. You love the fake model kits that someone did at the TV proportion Arc 78. Okay, I can't remember which one of these caves is the right one. I also need a guide for this cave anyway, because this cave was a bit of a nightmare. Okay, yeah, I've just gone back and looked at the first time we came here. So the first time we apparently went in the right one. Also, Snoochie is saying it's very important you choose the right one. Which could just mean don't choose the wrong one. But we will choose the right one. I know how to say a red cave in Welsh. It's that, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce because it would be an insult to everyone Welsh. I know there's that town with a really long name, and I'm sure it ends with that. Well, there's a dude here. Prince Ein, your family awaits you in the cave. I mean, you think you could maybe escort me there? That would be nice. Okay, so we need to go to where we found Ren, apparently. So from what I remember, I think we more had to loop round, and I think it was in the centre of the dungeon. So this could take a while. So actually, we may as well go this way. Also, if you're going to bring my family to a cave, maybe clear the monsters out first? Just a thought. Do I have to do everything? My model backlog is so bad, I've got 8 need to build. Yeah, thankfully I only have 1 to build at the minute. I do have a habit of buying way too many and then just having a huge backlog, but I managed to convince myself to not buy any more until I built that Zaku. I've actually run out of space for them as well, so that is another factor. Okay, so we can cut through here. So we're making some progress. It would be really nice to have another party member because we are noticing it only having 3. When there's this many enemies, you take a lot more damage having less party members. It's a bit annoying that these spider things at the front have just enough health to survive Ren. Miu's getting very low on health, but hopefully she can survive till the end. Yeah, cool. I like how Ren's just like hanging out with 122 health. He's an absolute tank. It's been 1,000 years since I've played this. Is this second generation? This is the second generation, yeah. So it's still quite early. Good at sea cover. Yeah, we haven't really done much at all, so we've done the part where everyone has disappeared in the towns, and we're just heading to, well, we're in Western Cave at the minute, trying to meet up with Reese's family. Yeah, I've been working through all the classic Phantasy Star games, so I've done 1 and 2 so far. I'm just going through 3 now, and then the plan is to do 4 after this. I think 3 so far is definitely the weak link of the game so far, but I'm still having a good time with it for the most part. Love classic Phantasy Star. Play through 1 to 4 from time to time on handhelds with emulators. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been really enjoying them so far. I played the Switch version of Phantasy Star 1, which I thought was good. I really like Phantasy Star 2. Keep models on Jessica at work. Grandad, Ariel, Wing Zero, Barbatos, Lupus Rex, a Double O Quant, Ground Leo, Strike Dagger, Jester, and a knockoff Lego kit of Breathwell Guardian. Oh, cool. Yeah, you probably can't see, but basically the cabinet behind me, the entire bottom shelf is just full of Gunpla. It's mainly just high grades. There's a couple of master grades in there as well. Might be worth healing Ren actually, because he's starting to get a little bit beaten up. You just see half naked anime vapes. I mean, there is that on the middle shelf as well, yeah. Yeah, the Gundam shelf's the bottom one, you can't really see it. And then the top shelf is all Phantasy Star stuff. think this is the right way. Yeah, I'm waiting for more for the Phantasy Star shelf at the minute, so... There needs to be more Phantasy Star merch. There isn't enough. You need Phantasy Star merch in your life. There was a stuff through Limited Run Gaming recently for PSO 25th anniversary. So I did order that. It's massively overpriced. I don't know when that's going to arrive, but it was just nice to see some Phantasy Star merch. The other stuff is there's a little like gacha figure of Nair from Phantasy Star 2, and at the back there's a figure of a Rick Seal, which looks like Shino from PSO, and there's also a PSO 2 Huni World as well. I should have before, but the PSO 2 Huni World one was a model kit that took forever to build. It's like entirely resin model kit. It's like 100 odd pieces, and you had to like pin most of the joints and everything to build it. It was a project. There is a Phony World one as well. I want to get that at some point, just to complete the set. Okay, so it should be just right here and then up in here. I really don't like it when there's a lot of enemies that can use Gra, because that means you're getting a lot of enemies hitting your entire body several times. I mean, for the most part, I don't think this game has been too difficult. I mean, these guys at the back are hitting really hard. But for the most part, it's been a fairly easy game so far. I wonder if I could ask my buddy to 3D print the character models from the PSO2 recreation OG class skins. Maybe. I know there is people who've 3D printed stuff before. I've always liked the idea of it, but it's so much more work than I think a lot of people realise. But even if you can get to a point where you can print it out, just the amount of work you've got to do on the printout to actually get it to be good quality, it's crazy. Generally, when you 3D print something, it tends to have like a support structure, so that it prints out without falling over. Kinda want a fat Rappy beanbag. Yeah, there is quite a lot of Rappy merch, particularly for PSO2. It would be really nice to have a fat Rappy though. I'd buy one if they did it. Worst part of this game was probably the poison in first gen. Yeah, first gen was horrendous. That just everything poisoned you. Just every single fight, it felt like. Okay, so there are people here. We're all that's left of Seal and Chisoran. Oh, that's not good. Lyle's in bad shape. He may not live very long. Is there any particular order I need to speak to these in? Because I don't want to screw anything up. It doesn't really say, so I'll just talk to all of them. I'll talk to the kings last, I guess. Does that have the inflatable rappy from Zero? That's really cool, an inflatable rappy. Make fat chirper. Yeah, exactly. Where's the real OG? You're really gonna give me a fight here? I mean, you think that Reese and Co would maybe help out a little bit, but nah. I have realised that by mashing A, I can kind of skip through things faster, which does help. Initiate the fat chirper protocol. Yeah, that's the downside of having these machines show up. We haven't had any chirpers, which I'm kind of sad about now. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. Oh, you got it from winning a contest on PSO World. Do you know what? I actually remember that, I think. Yeah, I have a faint memory of that contest. Reese doesn't even have a unique sprite anymore. Yeah, he is just exactly the same, isn't he, as Lyle? Mew is really struggling. She's still great, she still does really good damage and she's really helpful, but yeah, she is taking a lot of damage now. Alright, let's talk people. Lyle was wounded by the cyborgs. They took their... Love the Tash race. Anne, please help my friend. Rescue Thea. You're our last hope. Be brave, Anne. Okay, Mom. We had no choice but to run for our lives. You must rescue my daughter, Thea, for me. She's been taken to the east by our enemies. The key to the eastern world is in this chest. The dragon's tear will unlock the cave. Unsurprisingly, we find the dragon tear. Okay, so no new dialogue. Okay, so I think we can just exit from here now. I think we've got everything we need from here. Well, good luck, Reese and Lyle. And just hope you enjoy hanging out in the cave. God knows Reese might be more useful there. Okay, so now we need to head back to Hazardtech again. Not before fighting a ton more enemies. It really does not want to let you go anywhere in this generation. Just constantly getting interrupted. They'll be fine as long as they don't move. Yeah, their vision is based on movement. Random encounters only see you if you move. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Not gonna lie, those little robots on the left look kind of cute. They remind me a little bit of those like little robot dog toys. Less so for the spiders. We really still don't have another party member though, huh? I mean, honestly, we're earning so much money, we can probably just blow through mates, honestly. Aye, but... yeah, Affin, yeah. I don't like Affin in PSO2, regardless of whether it's the Japanese version or the global version. Never liked him as a character. Sorry to any Affin fans. Oh, we'll line that up perfectly. It's the first protocol, let's get healed. Good news is that healing is cheaper at the minute. Because we only have 3 party members, it's only costing us 15. Surprised that Affin didn't show up in Return, that's all he did in Classic. Yeah, Affin was basically... Obviously, he was kind of like the noob to start with. Then obviously it goes on the whole arc with his sister. I even start. It goes on like the whole arc with his sister, and then he basically spends most of the game just complaining about his sister being missing. And his sister just like appearing and then trolling him and disappearing somewhere else. I feel like that's the majority of Affin's storyline. Yeah, good to see you even start. Okay, so do we actually have anything to do in Hazard Attack, or no, we just need to rest here? We should probably stock up a bit while we're here. Yeah, Affin, I'm Space Australian for no reason, mate. Yeah, I do wonder why in the global version they decided to just make him really, really Australian. Did you ever meet the crazy cyborg that's wandering the desert north of this town? I did run into... Yeah, if I remember rightly, I ran into someone who looked like Mew. I can't remember what the name was now. It was similar to Mew, but I can't remember what the actual name was. You inspired me to try this with some patches. Yeah, I would recommend that if you are playing this, even just a movement speed mod is enough. The standard movement speed's way too slow, but if you can get a movement speed mod, it's a lot more enjoyable. But yeah, Vintage, I ran into that crazy cyborg in the first gen, I think. I don't think anything really happened though. Yeah, it was something like that, Gob, yeah. Myun, okay. Yeah, I honestly can't remember what she said when I spoke to her. I don't think it was anything massively important. It's Mew first. Grabbed a retranslation which includes the speed mod and some other small things. Okay. I'm always hesitant with retranslation mods just in case they decide to interpret things how they feel like. I think sometimes retranslation mods can alter the fabric of the story, which I obviously don't want. So I'm very sort of cautious with retranslation mods, but like for example, the grounding Hazard Attack is desert. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It is really stupid that it isn't. Oh, is the patch still in the Discord? Yeah. So yeah, even start in our Discord there is a patch that got blinked, which is the one I'm using at the minute, which is just movement speed. Again, we do have a Discord, so feel free to join over there if you want. Dark Falls is definitely Australian. They have hell spawns 24/7 down there. I mean, they do. I can play them when there's like a little spider. I mean, I'm not the kind of person who freaks out from spiders, but if there's a spider, I'll put it outside. I don't just kill them or anything, but I still don't like them. I cannot imagine even trying to live in Australia. So we'll buy another escapipe as well. Honestly, it feels like we've got to a point where the money just doesn't mean anything. Yeah, again, thanks for the patch as well, Gob. It has helped a lot. Yeah, I think changing the ground to desert in Hazard is definitely something that makes sense, because it is, I mentioned this before, but it is really stupid that Hazard looks like this. And then you step outside and the world looks like this. It makes no sense. It's obviously because they've just got one tile set for towns that they're just reusing over and over again. Okay, so apparently we need to head east and enter a cave. So let's check the monitor. Okay, so there is 2 land masses to the east, so maybe one of those. You think that princes would have a lot of money for their adventures? I mean, Iron does. Reese was broke constantly. I feel like everything is faster than us at the minute. Yeah, so far Iron seems way better than Reese. His damage is only down a little bit on what Reese had, and just having the ability to use all those techs as well is way more useful. Gem 1 in this game was Australia, tons of things out there to poison you. Maybe it was. I literally walked 2 steps. That guy just sat there and did nothing. I'm not complaining about it, but... One thing I've noticed is there is a lot of these temples scattered around the maps, and I've gone in none of them so far. I'm going to assume we go into them at some point. What if they threw poison in Gem 1 to make sure kids couldn't beat it during a single rental? Maybe. It did feel like everything had poison in Gem 1. It was really irritating. Gen 2 things just doing a lot more damage instead, which I'm a lot happier with. Remember the RNG for random battles being really bad, worse than Final Fantasy 2 and Dragon Quest 1. Right, so where are we in relation to these mountains? We should be more or less on them. We are. So this one, I assume, this is a cave to the east. Really? You just had to get one more in, didn't you? Okay, can I now go in? The dragon tear glows and you are inside. Okay, so it's another spooky passageway, so I'm assuming that this is a passageway to another region. That's what these normally are. So this is the passageway to Draconica, apparently. So map time again. Oh, it's a really big one. Is there an easy route across this? Yeah, it's a really annoying route through this, so... Okay, I think I figured it out. Actually, while I'm in here, is there any chests or anything I need to go for? Yes, there is. Brilliant. So we're going to be in here a while, I think. So go up and all the way right to one chest. Yes, this may take a while. Yeah, totally not the maintenance tunnels of some huge ship or something, yeah. There's obviously a lot going on with this that the game has not elaborated on. But again, there's a lot of parallels to what NGS does, so I've got an idea of what I think is happening, but I want to see if I'm right. Oh, we've got mechanical chirpers. I didn't realise the robot rappies originated from this. Trying what other game the robot rappies were in. It was one of the portable games. I can't remember if it was Portable 2 or if it was Infinity. But there was these robotic rappies that were a nightmare. They're called Warble bots. We did ask for rappies, we did. And the game has delivered, somewhat. Chirpers are not fat enough. They're not. We need a massive chirper. Also, can we just talk about how many enemies were in that spawn? No worries, Jokey. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking anyway. Also, those rappies actually do a ton of damage. Right, so we need to head all the way along here for a chest, apparently. This is a massive passageway, by the way, so... there is a few items I need to get in here before I leave, so... we're in here for the foreseeable. Well, for the next hour before I end the stream. Hopefully we can finish it before then. Yeah, those mecha rappies do a lot of damage. Even their like normal attack does what, 6-7 damage. I think there's been a definite difficulty spike with this story. Like Gen 1 was really easy, but I think that these robot enemies do seem like quite a big step up. Again, though, it's nice just not getting poisoned all the time. Like rest is still quite weak, unfortunately, because we're specialising in rest more than anything. Imagine if this gen they just spam paralysis. Okay, so we can't have poison on these robots. What can we do? Just pick another status, that'll do. Yeah, I got very low there. But again, that was a lot of experience though. I was hoping we'd have like a random monomate somewhere to use, but that's every few steps, man. Well, here we go again. I feel at the minute we're a bit behind the curve because a lot of the enemies are quicker than us, which is making things a bit more difficult. Also, Ren not one-shotting everything is really upsetting me. Use a burger. Not gonna lie, I kind of missed the burgers and cola from the first game. Found a forced ribbon, so I'm going to assume that's for Mew. Which is good, because we were saying that Mew was taking too much damage. Oh yeah, I forgot we need to actually give her the item, don't we? Give to Mew. Can't. Is she full on items? Yeah, okay. Honestly, we can just get rid of that ribbon. I still really hate the UI in this game. I'm never going to change my opinion on that. It's horrible. So she goes 112 defense to 125, so a little bit better. She was taking too much damage, so hopefully that'll help a little bit. Okay, what else do we need to get here? So I know now we have to walk all the way back. It's almost like they put the boxes there in the most inconvenient places deliberately. Also, again, is it just me, or are we getting ambushed a lot more? Yeah, I was gonna say, does party order have an effect in this game? I know it did in Phantasy Star II. I think maybe we just put Ren at the front. It is a really clunky UI joke, yeah, it's really bad. I guess we can reorder the party, there's no harm in trying. So first, let's put Ren there because Ren has tons of health anyway. Second can be Ein. I feel like order does matter, okay. Let's try that. So let's try and get back again. The weird thing is it doesn't actually change the order they appear in on the screen in the battle. Also, I like how we got way easier fights on the way back. Yeah, jokey, the UI I think is a lot better in Phantasy Star 2. Obviously, it's still a very aged UI. Still quite looks old, but I feel that the way that Phantasy Star 2 did it was a lot cleaner. Again, I think for the most part, I am genuinely enjoying this. It has been quite a fun game overall. Okay, so where do we need to go now? Go down and take a right at the bottom. So here. Again, we got ambushed again. Best UI in Phantasy Star has to be PSO2 Classic. Do you think so? I mean, I suppose having said that, I mean, there's not many good options, really, is there? I kind of feel the UI has always been a weaker point of the games. I mean, PSU's UI is just very boring to look at. It's just grey. PSO is very much of its time. Is probably the nicest way I'll put it. Yeah, I suppose Classic's UI for PSO2 wasn't too bad. NGS's is kind of built on that, I think, so I find NGS's is quite similar for the most part. PSO UI reminds me of Crash Bandicoot because it does the screen cut thing. Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, I forgot that Crash Bandicoot did that. When you pause the game, it would sort of leave the game window in a small corner of the screen. And on one of my videos, I think it was where I was doing the tips and tricks video for PSO, someone said for the tip I do where you open the menu to avoid traps and so on, they were like, oh, I just use the quick menu instead, or use like a palette that doesn't have anything that can target, because the way that you do it limits your field of view. And I disagree with that, because all it does is it just shrinks the screen into the corner. You still see the whole screen. It's not like the screen gets cut off. You still see the whole screen. It gets moved in the corner. So for me, I've never had a problem doing it. We love Robo Rappies. We do. We don't like it when they're spam for you. They're also annoyingly fast. Yeah, the Robo Rappies, I think it was in Infinity. They basically had jet engines, and they would just like spear themselves at you. They're actually really irritating to fight. I did find it funny on NGS that we're getting some more line strike cards for different Phantasy Star games. I think we're getting PSU line strike cards, and there was some PSO, well, PSP2 ones as well. I find it funny that they're giving cards of Nagisa from Infinity, because for the Japanese side it makes total sense, but for the global side, a lot of people won't even know what PSP2 Infinity is. See, fights like this are fine. Just give me more fights like this one. Nice, easy ones. Because that just leads back to the same place. If the mid-line strike a standalone game, would be happy. I don't mind line strike. I still massively prefer PSO Episode 3, but Line Strike's pretty good. I'm still terrible at it though. I think it was good for them to add to NGS, you know, it was like another option for people to spend time with. I know some people have made it where their main thing in NGS is to do line strike. If you like card games, then it is probably an element of the game you probably spend more time on. I just generally don't get that much time to play NGS, so when I do play, I tend to do other stuff rather than line strike. You want to see Alice Landale in the new Sonic Racing game now? It could happen. I mean, we've got Hatsune Miku in it. I've been giving your main character needless for most of the game. I'm not sure how well they work in this generation though, since the robots have more defense. I'm not sure, honestly. I've never really tried them. I think it'd be fun to play F3 as a community sometime. I have streamed it a couple of times. There's very little people who play it. So what I'm planning to do is I've ordered a flippy drive for my GameCube. So once that's sorted, I can get my game save off my GameCube memory card. Once I've got that, then I'll be much more likely to do episode 3. Maybe even some episode 1 and 2 streams as well, using my old character data. But I have got a save file on an emulator as well, so that I have used for a few streams. But yeah, F3 is really fun. I genuinely really like it. I think it's always going to be sort of like the red-headed stepchild of the PSO series, but I like it. A Hunter or Arcs main. I've played both, but I tend to prefer playing Arcs. Just because it's different, you know, and you get to use the monsters. I think it's pretty cool. It is hard work playing Arcs though. Yeah, I like the Arcs gameplay. The only downside with the Arcs is trying to defend your story character. It's really easy to mess up. Anything 3 in Phantasy Star is cursed to be badly received. It does seem to be that way. Yeah, Phantasy Star 3, Episode 3 PSO and NGS. It does seem to be like a curse in Phantasy Star, doesn't it? Yeah. Like the third entry is always the one no one apparently likes. Just spam rappies on the board, they'll never reach you. Yeah, spam decks are like the most annoying things in the game. just realised that there is some animation on the rappies. The little antennas that they have, they change colour every now and again. It seems like every turn they change colour. Not gonna lie, this is getting a bit rough. To be fair, Phantasy Star 3 did give us rappies and a 5-character party. It did. The robot really looks like they shoved Crimson Assassin legs and arms onto a machine core. I can't get over it. Maybe they did. Okay, I need to look up a guide to see where this next box is because this description doesn't make sense to me. Unfortunately, the map does not show you. Okay, I think... might be up this way, and then there's a path that drops down, I think. So there is a path that drops down there. So I need to check the map again and see if this leads where I think it does. So that path just leads around the loop. Okay, I'm gonna try going the opposite way. I don't like that I've been ambushed on this fight. Yeah, why are the rappies so strong? Yeah, do you know what, Drac? I can't unsee that with that monster now. It does just look like Crimson Assassin legs. Or Grass Assassin legs. These rappies are the same as they use in F4, this slap hard. Yeah, the sand rappies in F4 when you first get to like desert in particular. It is so much damage. Okay. Let's try... So if I go this way... This game always had my favourite vibe of the first four, really? I'm quite surprised to see that, because I think a lot of people see this as like the black sheep of the classic games from what I've heard. But good to hear though. I'm enjoying it so far. I think so far I definitely prefer 2. But I am enjoying this for the most part though. Good to see you, AJ, as well. Okay, so let's try going this way. Because going along here does lead to a dead end, which I'm going to assume maybe has a chest on it. Can you stop spamming fight? I think this is the gimmick of this generation. We've just substituted poison for fight, that's it. There's really no chest here. That sucks. The rule is, if you have a dead end in a dungeon, it has to have a chest. Okay, maybe we'll just look for the way out then and we'll try and come back later, because we are getting a bit low on healing now. So next question, what is the way out? Is that worse than waterfall with no cave behind it? I mean, I feel that if you have a waterfall without a cave behind it, it's like a crime. You shouldn't be allowed to produce the game. Full is probably the best game, but something about this one sticks with me. It's definitely very different to the other ones. There's some elements of this I am really, really enjoying. Some less so. I don't think I could have played this without the movement speed mod. I think that kind of makes the game playable for me. Okay, so if we go... I think we just go left and then up from here. Yeah, that looks sort of promising. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so then this should lead to a bigger room. Yeah, I mean, I can see why people would like this game. It's intriguing me, the story so far, because there's this big clash between the sort of old, like, medieval style in the towns and then these connecting areas that are obviously very high tech. So I'm curious to see how they explain that. Again, I've got my theories on what I think is going on based on the other games I played, but okay, so this leads to the big room here. There is a chest there. I mean, I feel like we have to thank Phantasy Star III for introducing rappies, as someone said earlier. You know, they're now basically the series mascot, and it is kind of funny that they came from the game that apparently no one liked. As I was playing through 1 and 2, it was just amazing me that there was no rappies. I was like, well, when do the rappies come in? They're one of the most important things in Phantasy Star. I had no idea that it didn't come in until 3. Okay, that is the box I was looking for. So that is a laser shot, so I'm assuming that is a weapon for Ren. What is Ren using at the minute? Ceramic shot, okay. Okay, that is quite a lot stronger, so... Okay, so from here... I think we're getting close to the end of this now. Or ish. This is by far the biggest passageway we've done so far. Actually, just before I leave as well, is there any more boxes here I need to get? I really don't want to come back here too much. They go down from here and left for a ceramic helmet, apparently. Which left? Is it in here or is it the next one down? Oh, so the downside with this gun is it only hits one target. I might switch back. Or because they're both called shot. So we think they both hit multiple targets, but no. I mean, the laser is strong, but I mean, it's still not one hit killing these enemies. And it's only hitting one target. I feel like the ability to hit multiple targets is way more useful. So I will switch Ren back, I think. Considering we have no other AoE in our party, so I think we need that on Ren. Okay, is the next one down. Odin moment, exactly. I just think having the ability to hit everything on one row at once is far more useful than doing a bit more damage to one target. Yeah, we're doing about 20 damage less roughly. We're hitting everything on a row, so yeah, I'm happy with that. The way this is now, Ren can basically soften up everything on one row, and then Iron and Mew can just pick it off. I don't think how much money we're going to have after this. So it should be down here, I think? Yeah. Ceramic helmet, so I'm going to assume that's for Iron. Hydrate, I will. I like how you actually use channel points as well. Yeah, I'm never fixing that redeem. That is staying broken forever. I mean, this has got to be. use hydrate more than once, no. I said I know why it does it now, but I think it's become a bit of a meme on the channel, so it's staying broken. Yeah, maybe I should add a hydrate regime that actually works as well. Okay, that ceramic helm was literally 3 defense more. I'm not sure if that was worth it. Okay, so from here, after yet another fight, I think we're now ready to leave. Massive improvement it is. Maybe that 3 extra defense will, you know, save us at some point. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get over how lazy the attack animations are in this game. Or how weird the enemies are. I was actually lying about us spending an hour in this tunnel, but we have almost spent an hour in here. Because I think we just go... Is it just writing up now? I think. Yeah, cool. Yeah, they are certainly unique, yeah. You see, I was kind of expecting the enemy designs in this game to be very overly generic, because obviously we've gone for a classic sort of fantasy setting. Or so it seems when you first start. So I was expecting like really generic enemies, but if anything, they're weirder than the other games I've seen. I've got to say, this is a real dick move. So thankfully I've got a map up so I can see, but that left passageway is a really long passageway that just leads to a dead end, and there's nothing there. Can I please have a turn? Thank you. Yeah, even started these enemies are totally different in this generation. So in the first generation, you'll mainly fight monsters instead, but in this gen, it's mainly machines. Yeah, 1 and 2's enemy designs are really cool. And what I liked about 1 in particular was that you could see where PSO had taken some of the inspiration from for some of its designs. Things like the Chaos Bringers and things like that, and I guess the Sorcerers to an extent as well. Were very much inspired by Phantasy Star 1. Phantasy Star 1 zombie drool animation is kind of insane for the time. It really is. It's a really impressive game, honestly. My brother was watching me play this and he laughed hard at the Cyclops flexing its pecs. Yeah, we got that, I think it was last time we played this. The giant's great as well, where the giant that just goes. That's its entire animation, just. Okay, so we are in a new place. Thankfully, we made it out of there. That literally took almost an hour. Okay, where to now? From the exit, head southeast, cross the bridge and enter the town. We can do that. knowing that it was on an 8-bit system, it was really ahead of the competition at the time. It was really ambitious, the first game, I think, yeah. I think to some degree, Phantasy Star 2 kind of took a step back from that, because I feel 2 was a more... what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe a bit safer. It was more in line with what other RPGs were doing, I guess, but I love 2's story, so... And I feel that they expanded on a lot of elements of the game a lot more in 2 as well. I do miss not having the ability to talk to enemies, though. More games should let you do that. So I'm assuming it's over here? Yeah. That is a doom fly, apparently. I'm trying to tell what that is on the bottom. I mean, it could be a key, it could be a huge pair of balls, who knows? It looks really suspicious. Ren, please shoot it to get it off my screen. Oh, it uses poison. We're back. We are so back. Still love to, although I think they could have done a bit more with the characters in the game itself instead of text adventures. Yeah, for sure. Geek you if it was a fly instead. So yeah, I thought we'd escape poison, but apparently not. Apparently the game just thought, no, you've gone for a couple of hours without being poisoned. It's time. So new town. I'm assuming we still go by the rule of the nurse being in the church for some reason. I don't know who got poisoned. So I'm just going to keep talking to you until I pick the right one. It was Mew. Okay, so let's talk to some people. Notice, guy, they haven't segregated the church from health in the span of 18 years. Not yet. Yeah, so let's talk to some people and see where we are and what's going on. If anyone is here. Which it doesn't look like it. Poison is no longer as big an issue. You can probably remove it 1 or 2 casts. It depends on how you've specialised for your techs. Yeah, basically the way the tech specialisation works, if you specialise in one tech, you by default don't specialise in another one. So an anti, if you don't specialise in it, is terrible. Swap Mew's affinity to Giresta. Possibly. I think the only concern I've got with Giresta is I can't remember if it takes more TP to cast. I seem to remember there's no real way of telling. I guess we can just cast it now and see. So she's on 35 at the minute. You have more TP now in 2nd gen. We do. That was only 5 TP. Maybe it is worth going for Giresta now then. So how much is Resta out of curiosity? Resta is also 5. Cost goes up if you change it, right? I can't remember, honestly. Let's experiment. I mean, I suppose we could set Mew for Gear Rester and leave Iron on Rester. So we've got both options anyway. You usually don't specialise a healer until you have multiples, which takes a while on the other generation. Yeah, first gen in particular takes a long time to get more than one healer. Maybe on the ultimate second generation, I'm not sure. So for us, we've basically got 2 healers at the minute, so let's specialise Mew. Heal techs. Actually, we are quite special. Well, we're fairly specialised in Garester already. Maybe we can. Yeah. And that works. That still gives us a decent amount on Rester. Gives us a lot on Garester. And a decent amount on Anti to get rid of poison. And that works. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Drac, if I use Mew for Garester and Iron for Rester. So I've got both options anyway then. Yeah, let's do that. And let's also specialise Iron while we're here as well. So for Iron, let's just maybe lean into Rester more. Yeah, let's do that. We've got a good anti on Mew anyway, so that's fine. As you marry another Araki and your main character doesn't get techniques, yeah. I think it's kind of cool that it changes your main character's abilities based on that. Okay, so is there anyone we can actually talk to? Does anyone actually go outside in this place? Apparently not. Maybe they've got a curfew or something. Tech power comes with bright blue hair. Apparently, yeah. All healing techs cost 5 points. The numbers show the strength of the tech. Yeah, that really threw me off when I first started playing because I thought that the numbers were the TP cost, because that would make sense to me from more or less any other game. But yeah, now I know that the number is actually how strong the tech is. No one lives in the towns yet. Well, apparently no one lives here. Reese would disagree. His hair wasn't bright enough, you see. If his hair was brighter, maybe he'd have a chance of, you know, actually being able to be decent. So I think here we basically just buy a load of stuff. Alright, so what have we got? We have nearly 20,000, but stuff is quite expensive. So what do we need? We need a force armor and a ceramic vest. We'll buy that immediately. And we'll buy the ceramic vest. Mew. Is that Reese's brother or shopkeep? Maybe it is. He does look distinctly Reese-like. We also need, what is it? A ceramic protector for Ren. It's a younger brother because he has no mustache. Yeah, I mean, we've established that you only have a mustache once you're old in this game. So he's obviously a young one. The artist only knows how to draw characters who can't blink. That false armor really didn't give us much defense. There was a little bit, but really not much. Yeah, they're very small increases. But I suppose they are pretty cheap. So, is there any weapons here that we need? Should probably also rest actually while we're here. I think if you can make characters blink and pierce, it would feel kind of cursed. I never even thought about that. Yeah, the characters just don't blink to the. Alright, what's in here? Anything good? I see Laconium shot. The problem is I don't know which weapons to run hit multiple targets. Because they're all just called shot. Seen some people think that the armor style looks like Rolf. I could see that. I mean, I would assume that ceramic claws are better than what we've got. Rolf was Reese. Everyone is hyperventilating in PSO 2, not blinking because it causes a lot of stress. Yeah, they do breathe very heavily in PSO. Just like... Okay, so it looks like they're saying to save weapons for the next town. Okay, fair enough. I guess maybe they're only small upgrades. Not sure any other guns actually multi-target. Then again, my Ren usually goes last when there's one enemy left. I can't believe there's no one in this town to talk to. After going through that hell passageway, there's no one at all. Okay, it looks like the next part is quite a long way, so what I might do, because we're getting really close to the end of the stream, I think I might just wrap things up there for today. And then we'll start the next part next time we play, which will be next Wednesday for this. So yeah, we'll end Phantasy Star 3 there for today. On Sunday, we should finally be playing Phantasy Star 0 with the multiplayer Eternal Tower mod. Because apparently it is back online again, so... First of all, thank you to the emulators providers for actually getting it back online. So yeah, I know it's been a bit delayed, but we will finally do the multiplayer Eternal Tower mod. There'll be a video going live next week for members on Tuesday. There won't be one for non-members next week just because I've taken a week off from the videos this week. And again, just as a reminder, the podcast with Kathy went live yesterday, so that is on Kathy's channel if you want to go and check that out. It is very long though, it's about 2.5 hours long, I think, somewhere like that. So it is a bit of a process to get through. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. But yeah, we'll end that one there for today. So if you have enjoyed the stream, please consider liking, subscribing, join as a member if you want to. I say we will be doing Phantasy Star 0 on Sunday, so hopefully you'll join for that as well. You joined at the last 30 minutes but went back. Yeah, it was a long one. There was some hot takes, yeah. I didn't agree with everything. Kathy's channel on YouTube should just be Kathy. If you just search for Kathy PSO2 or Kathy NGS, it should show up. It's Kathy with a C though. So yeah, that is on there. If you're on my Discord as well, I did link to it as well on there. And again, we do have a Discord channel, so feel free to join there as well. Should be just under the video player or in the description on YouTube. Yeah, as usual, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on Sunday for some Phantasy Star 0, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on Sunday. See you guys.